I hear the flowers kinda crying loud, the breeze is sounding sad. Oh no, tell me when did we become so cold and empty inside? Lost away a long time ago. Did we really turn that blind? We don't see that we keep hurting each other, no. All we do is just fight. Now we share the same bright sun, same round moon. Why don't we share the same love? Tell me why not? Life is shorter than most have thought.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the Jumuah Journey broadcast on your favorite community TV station, Cape Town TV, with me, your host of the show, Muhammad Junaid Shafika, MJ Lee. Wieners Supermarket and Cash and Carry, Portland's Meat Hyper and Taz Boutique in Gatesville, they have become the long-standing sponsors of the show. Many thanks to them. Many people have asked us the question, what if we miss out on the Friday evening broadcast? It's very simple. You tune in on a Saturday morning at 5:30, that is the first repeat. And if you miss that, well, there's a second repeat on a Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. Becoming part of the show is also very simple. As we go along during the course of this show, we'll provide you with our social media links. Now, at the end, or towards the end of season 4, we were in conversation with one of Cape Town's most talented sons. Cape Town has many talented sons, mind you. Now we're reaching the end of season 5. It's becoming seasonal. The mastermind behind Money's Too Tight to Mention, Learn a Husband. Back on the show with us, our favorite comedian, Stuart Taylor. Stuart, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, MG. Thank you very much for having me. MJ, sorry, I called you MG. I was looking at cars called MGs.
Okay.
Sorry, so that's on my mind.
It's not a sponsor, eh?
No, it's not. Not at all. Not at all. I have no sponsors now. I'm producing my own stuff. Speaking of which, you've been punting this DVD and you have never ever gotten a copy of the DVD. And I promised you like 6 months ago, probably a year ago, that I was going to bring you a copy of Money's Too Tight to Mention. Yeah, we can see, the public can see.
Okay.
I'm handing it over.
All right.
I'm a man of my word.
Money's Too Tight to Mention. If you watch the end of season 4, Stuart Taylor promised us a copy which we will use sparingly on the show. You need to buy your own copy. It's available across the country, and also we'll use it on my radio show, weekdays radio show.
As
all
long
right.
as you keep punting that it's available in stores.
Okay. A man of his word. Now, we're making it seasonal. End of season 4, we hooked up. We're reaching the end of season 5. Last year, we spoke before your Durban leg of Money's Too Tight to Mention. I just got back from the World Championship. I'm preparing for it again. So we're making it annual.
Absolutely, and I'm getting ready to go back to Durban again. So it really is quite an annual thing. Yeah, it's been an amazing year. I got to do some awesome stuff with Kurt Skundert and Nigel Pierce. We did a show at the Baxter, and now I'm back on tour. I've been writing a new show, and it's part of a book launch. Because I wrote a book a while ago, and but we just never finished it. So it's finally been edited. It's called the Learn a Husband book. It's a Learn a Husband, and it's a guide to avoid collisions with your wife. It's a handy guide to avoiding collisions with your wife. That's the name of the book. And I know it's a lot of words in the title, but we're going to launch it with a nationwide tour. So look out for the Learn a Husband book tour, and we start in Durban. On the 31st of May, 1st of June, and we're just doing kind of weekends, so nice event like launch. Then we'll come down the Eastern Cape, we'll do East London, Grahamstown, and then July, just before the holy month of Ramadan, we're going to do the Baxter Theatre. So we'll be there for about a week from the 2nd of July. So that's very, very exciting. New show, book launch, gonna be great.
Okay. Hopefully I'll be able to catch that show at the Baxter.
Yes.
Because I'm scheduled to leave for the World Championship on the 12th of July. But now talking about season 4, towards the end of season 4 of the Jumuah Journey show, you were preparing to leave for Durban in connection with Money's Too Tight to Mention. Yeah. You got back. You guys did, as you mentioned, men's issue with Kurt and Nigel. And now it's the book launch.
Yeah.
Before we chat a bit about the book launch, How did Money's Too Tight to Mention go in Durban, the leg there, and then also Men's Issue, because I think you guys played extensively for about 3 weeks at the Baxter?
Well, firstly, the Money's Too Tight to Mention was cool because it was the final version of the show. You know what I mean? We never planned to run it for a very long time, so it was around about a year. It ran around the country. It ran in Joburg. Twice. It ran in Cape Town twice. In those two cities we generally do a run twice, but in PE, East London, Grahamstown, we took it to all the smaller cities as well. And the final show was in Durban. It was great. It was great for me as a performer because it was the first time I didn't produce a show myself. Okay. My management produced it, so it was great. It just flew down to Durban, walked out on stage, and there was an audience. And it was cool. It was a little bit sad because I must admit I really enjoyed performing that show. It was a show that was written in a very short space of time, and it wasn't actually meant to be. We were actually supposed to do the Learner Husband book launch, but there was a delay with our book, so we said, "Oh, geez, we've now got all these dates booked around the country. What are we going to do?" And sort of 3 months before the time, it was just kind of our post-recession. We went, let's write this. So we've been joking about writing a show about times being tough. So we wrote the show Money's Too Tight to Mention. And I mean, I loved performing my first Learner Husband show. That was really, that was like my baby. Okay. And I felt like I was cheating on it because I enjoyed this Money's Too Tight to Mention show so much that I really didn't think I would enjoy it as much as, Learner Husband. So it was a little bit sad doing it in Durban, the final thing. But it was cool because a week later the DVD came out, hit stores, and it's available now countrywide. So it's been good times.
Something instinctively makes our comics and stand-ups unique in South Africa. Perhaps there could be a similar trend in other countries. We had your colleague Riyad Musa on the show last month, now a SAFTA award winner 2013, doing fantastically well also with material, currently doing doctor's orders across the country. Medical doctor on his side, your side, you have your degree, courtesy of Stellenbosch University. Now an author of a book. What if we encapsulate it like that? Does that? Many would say, well, that makes our stand-ups and our comics kind of unique. There are many others. You mentioned a few others as well. Academic background, and you guys explore so many different options.
I think the nature of this country is you've got to be a jack of all trades. If we were comics living in America, I think you could be a club comic, firstly, and literally just go from club to club. In the UK, you could go from club to club. In South Africa, and it's the reason why some of our comics have trekked and left the country, just because they go, well, they don't want to do corporate work, and there's no real, there's not that many options if you want to be a purist. So I think a lot of us have gone, well, it means that you've got to diversify, be it do a bit of radio, be it DVDs and live theatre space. That's where a lot of comics have moved their trade to. Television shows being the other. Movies in Riyad's case, or even Kurt with the movie they shot last year. And so for me, I just went, well, I want to do something different. I want to push the boundaries of what it is that I'm doing. And the Learner Husband book seemed like a logical way to do it, because in the show, in the first Learner Husband that we did, I kind of joked that I'd written a manual. I was like, I've written a book, and I had a fake book. I was like, let me teach you. And it was a fun show. We kind of put the guys through their paces. Come on, guys, I'm giving you some husband training, and the women loved it. But the problem was when we'd walk out of the theater, everyone would go, "Can I buy the book?" We go, "No, it's just a joke." Took the show to Joburg. After the show, "Can I buy the book?" "No, dude, it's just a joke." And by the time we hit the third run of the show, myself and Heinrich, the co-producer, co-writer of the show, went, "Yo, we better buckle down and write this book." And so, it took us about 2.5 years to write the book. It was a long process. But I think the reason why we've kind of diversified is you've got to be a jack of all trades, and that is, I think, it's just one facet. We're busy thinking about screenplays now in terms of movies, and I think that's the beauty of this country. Though I know some comics who've left and pursued things outside of SA. I spend a bit of time outside of SA in terms of tours, and that's fun. But there's just so much potential in this country. So, for example, there's a movie coming out called Blitz. The guy Joey Dasdeen, Kagi, Dave Cow, all the guys from Pure Monati, pretty much getting together, making that movie, funded by themselves. And that's what we're in a position where we can do that. Literally, I could go to LA and be one of 1,000,000 screenplays handed in, or I could sit in my house, write a screenplay, call up Kagi and go, listen, buddy, I've got an idea for a movie. Look at it, and he'll find the funding, and we'll make it. You know what I mean? So we live in an amazing country in that everyone is. It's a very close knit, small industry, and it means that diversifying is almost a natural part of what we do.
Hold my hand, there are many ways to do it right. Hold my hand.
And on the ramp we have Tasmania. Looking to be fashionable yet modest? For men's and ladies' clothing, look no further than Taz Boutique. Shop 1, Block 5, Batesville Shopping Centre, next to Pizza Time. Call us on 021 633 1367 or 071 786 9495. Taz Boutique, where our passion is your fashion.
Find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Tasmania.
My hand, there are many ways to do it right. Hold my hand.
Do you remember cell phones back in 1995? They were about this tall. They came with a kickstand like kata. You used to carry the battery on your back. All cell phones came with that Ford Cortina aerial that you had to pull out. And your first call was always outside. And you tell the person, I'm outside. I'm on the phone. Outside. Like people complain about call charges nowadays. Back in the day, to check your voicemail, it's like 12 Rand 50. There was no BBM. There was no SMS. There was no iMessage. Because you did not know another person with a cell phone. That is how sought after cell phones were in 1995. Well, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold my hand, there are many ways to do it right. Hold my hand.
Being authors, being academics, movie stars, also now many comics, as you say, host their own TV shows, talk shows on radio, etc., etc. Riyadh spoke of, as a comic, you need to be true to yourself and what you do.
Sure.
And also your expression, most times, if not all times, would actually emanate and exude your character. So how do you guys ensure that all these mediums that you have at your disposal, that you're able to achieve that?
Well, not everyone does. I think it's the difference between someone who really takes what they do to the next level as when they are being true to themselves. So, for example, on Friday I was doing a gig with a bunch of young comics, and it's very interesting. I mean, youth is an amazing thing, but and you kind of see where people start, and these guys are all amazing. They've got phenomenal potential, but they all still talk about the world out there. They go, so they'll talk about cats and dogs and laptops and couches and whatever, but they never actually kind of open up and go, and this is who I am. Whereas if you look at Riyadh's material, for example, it's a lot about where he comes from, what his values are, or I talk about being a husband and being a father. So you kind of you hit that next level, and then when you immerse yourself in that material and in that world, it does kind of filter through everything you do. So, for example, to show money to mention, but I spoke about my wife or my kids because that's pretty much the world that I live in. You know, I mean, that's what I do every day. Is I play with these guys and I have to chat to my wife and keep everyone happy. So regardless of what material, if I'm writing material about a couch, I'm going to write it relative to my kids. I'm going to talk about how my kids messed up a couch as opposed to just, the color red. So you always kind of, I think you hit a point where that your truth kind of shines through regardless of the medium. You become comfortable with yourself. You become comfortable in your own skin. You find your own voice as a comic is another way of putting it. And then once you do that, I think you start finding a broader audience, funny enough, because people are people fundamentally, and we've all got the same issues.
Stuart, in closing, we look forward to the book launch and tour. Also, any other plays perhaps later on in the year that you can do surprises with in South Africa?
Not in South Africa. It's pretty much this is going to be the focus. Is that we start the tour from May 31st of May. As I said, we'll do Durban. We'll come down the coast, come to Cape Town first week of July. Most of Ramadan will be. I'm going to probably head off to the States for a little while and then come back and do Joburg, and then post Joburg I'm going to do Edinburgh. I'm going to do open spots in Edinburgh at the Edinburgh Festival, which is the biggest arts festival in the world, which is very exciting. And September, I've got a surprise thing happening, but I'm probably not going to be on stage. It's going to be kind of. I've got dates booked at the Baxter, the middle 2 weeks of September, and we're going to do something. And it's going to be very exciting. I'm talking to a bunch of comics. It's going to be an ensemble show of sorts. But I think I'm going to put on my producing hat and just produce it. And it should be quite exciting. So I'll come knock on your door and say, "Come on, MJ, I need some interviews for some of these comics. Get booking."
Great to meet up with you again from one season to the next. I hope it's not going to be season 6.
I'm not sure when I'll see you, but the next time I do, which is by next week, I'll have a copy of the book in my hand, and then I'll bring you a copy of the book.
One thing I'm going to hold you to that.
You can't put it on radio, but you can put the Money's Today to mention clips on radio. So yes, you can maybe read out of the book, or you can just look at it and laugh and tell people to go and buy it.
Stuart Taylor, the mastermind behind Money's Too Tight to Mention, Learn a Husband, Men's Issue, and plenty others, plenty more coming. Thanks so much for the chat, and we look forward to speaking to you perhaps in the coming months, maybe again in season 6.
Maybe at the end of season 6. Don't forget, if you want to chat to me before, follow me on Twitter. No one knows my Twitter handle because it's not Stuart Taylor. It's the Stuart Taylor. So no one searches the. So that was a bit of a stupid thing to do. So anyway, find me the Stuart Taylor, or you can follow me through this man over here.
Okay, there we go. We've spoken to the mastermind behind Money's Too Tight to Mention, Learn a Husband, at the Stuart Taylor. That is on Twitter. You can follow everything that he does, from spending time with his family to making us laugh across the country. Let's visit our sponsors, Winner Supermarket and Cash and Carry Portland's, Meet Hyper and Taz Boutique. My young and beautiful co-host Zainab Shafika, proudly dressed by Taz Boutique in Gatesville. When we come back from the break, we'll take you through our social media links. Stay tuned to the show.
Hold my hand, there are many ways to do it right. Hold my hand.
Continue to follow your favorite show on Cape Town TV, The Jumuah Journey. Send us your comments or SMS number 084 217 5759. Join us on Facebook at facebook.com/MJ Lee. Follow us on Twitter at MJ Lee Kung Fu, and check out our YouTube clips on www.mjlee.com.
Hold my hand, there are many ways to do it right. Hold my hand. I'm about to lose the battle and cross the line. I'm about to make another mistake, and even though I try to stay away, everything around me keeps dragging me in. I can't help thinking to myself, what if my time